of amidst all of the kind of chaos, and it felt, I suppose it just felt true. So that's what I wanted to lean into.
And Tom, I wanted to ask you about Chuck, who's such a mystery for the first the first third of the movie. But by the end, and this is one of the things that struck me the most and absolutely decimated me at the end of the film, is realizing that your character has seen himself die all along. Did you keep that in mind while you were playing him the entire time?
That's such a good question. I don't know that it was conscious in a live way every moment. But of course I had read the script and I knew the story. But I knew it in as much as I know that that's where we all end. Chuck knows he's going to end, and I think it's I remember, how old was the man in the bed? He can't tell. And the abruptness of the disappearance almost persuading young Chuck that he may never have existed in the first place. And so I just tried to carry the idea that we all carry, which is, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is our life now. And somewhere, somehow, I mean, we can't live with the high stakes of this all the time, but we do know this is it. Or at least that's what I believe. And so you try, and Chuck is simply trying to do the best he can with what he has every day. And his ordinary life is filled with all of the same things that our lives are filled with responsibility, with obligation, professional and personal and familial, with good days and bad days and hard days and frustrating days, and yet somewhere he perhaps knows on some unconscious level that sometimes you've got to put the briefcase down. And you don't know when those moments will come, but they're magical and they exist for all of us. It doesn't have to be dancing, it could be anything. It's just a feeling of being really in the moment of your life and inspired by joy and by love.
And I want to make sure that we have time enough for audience questions, so I want to take this opportunity to open it up to the crowd. If anybody has any questions for the panel, please raise your hand. I'll single you out and a microphone will find you. There's a very keen beam right there. Let's go to you. And let's come to you afterwards.
Hi everybody, the film was beautiful and wonderful, congratulations. So Tom, you've talked a lot about, you've spent 4 days dancing and 1 day dying, and you've talked a lot about the 4 days dancing. But I don't think people have asked you much about the 1 day dying. So I was very curious if you could talk more about how you built that relationship with that co-star in that moment, because it's so brief, and like what was in your headspace during that section of the film. Thank you.
Yeah, it was really remarkable. After Monday to Thursday, dancing, and Friday, not so much. I was really extraordinarily assisted, I should say, by 3 individuals in the hair and makeup department. That was the top of my day. Amy L. Forsyth, Katie Ballard, and Anderson Foreman, and I spent, I think, 3 hours in the makeup chair, aging. And it was extraordinary to emerge from that process and look in the mirror. It's very unusual. I mean, none of us had that experience. We aged slowly. I did not. It was really odd after I sort of moved a bit slower. It was very strange. It made me feel a bit more fragile. In that extraordinary scene, I dramatically don't have to do much heavy lifting, I don't think. It's Corianka Kilcher playing Ginny, and Anthony Raoul Colbert playing Chuck's son. And it was extraordinary being, we all knew what we were there to do, we all knew what the scene was. And we didn't have long, so we just kind of dived in and played it for what it was. And it felt very powerful, even though my eyes were closed. But again, The specific is the universal. It's a specific experience, but it's one perhaps that universally we will go through, and so we understand the truth of it. But it was an extraordinary week to go through to feel the momentum of that vitality of all the dancing, and then to finish there.
Can I tag on to that just a tiny bit? Our production office in Daphne, Alabama, was a repurposed cannabis store, and we didn't have sound stages. So I don't know to what extent you knew this, because we tried very hard not to make it too obvious. But the hospital room was built in our production office because we didn't have anywhere else to do it, and it was in the room where we had been working on the budget. It was the line producers conference room, and that's where we built that set. So it was really neat. We've been working in that space the whole time to prep the movie and kind of living and dying every day based on the numbers on that sheet, but then we very quickly dressed it. And we said, this has to be great. Tom Hiddleston's going to die in this room. This has to look terrific. And that was just our office. So, the room where you're in bed with Ginny, that was my office. And we just took all my stuff out. Yeah, all the cannabis was gone. But yeah.
There's a question over there. If you just want to get your hand up and the microphone will find you.
Hello, congratulations on the film, it's excellent. Tom, also congratulations on the dancing.